You're like the one in
Check him out.
the BBC.
In the flesh.
Uncanny.
Good times.
Good times indeed.
I love so much for the last 2 hours.
See you in a bit, ladies.
You're bringing an album out as well.
I am November.
Are you?
November the 16th. There's a mixture of original material and cover versions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now it's this. I've been making these in my bedroom for years, and finally I have an outlet.
No, this I do have an outlet. So they've written 5 songs and I love them.
Really?
They're the kind of songs that you might find on an early Tom Jones / Engelbert Humperdinck,
Nice.
like early 70s album.
There's not enough of that.
We need more.
There's a market
You're
for
getting a window into your record collection.
Yeah, no, exactly.
There's a lot of Nana Muscuri's
It's
in
what?
there.
Oh, don't it make a very nice blue? So we might cover that actually if there's a second album. We might do it. But there's a song we've written for me called Margarita, and it's Humperdinck. It reeks of dink. And I just the dinkster.
Nice.
I love it.
There's got to be a Spanish flavour to that. Margarita.
One more margarita for my margarita.
Wow.
Once again the words roll slowly off my tongue. For the more I drink, the more the pain gets sweeter. As I long for margarita, long for margarita, long for margarita in the sun. November 16th.
A live sneak now.
Thank you.
We should get the little 4-string guitar in case something happens.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
legendary.
sounds cheeky.
Nice. Well, it's tuned to death.
Okay, will you go in and
Is Robbie ready for it?
Yeah. Right.
Dublin's 98, how are you doing? It's Monday morning, and guess what? Live in studio, who have we got? Only Justin Lee Collins, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm really happy.
I'm amazed you're doing really well because you've been in Dublin for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's Monday, and you look like you're fresh-faced and ready to go.
Well, I love it here. I've not been to Dublin for quite a few years, and I've forgotten how much I love this town. It's great.
It's easy to remember it over the weekend, in fairness.
Yeah. I live in Bristol, and in the west of England,
Yeah.
and I think the towns are quite similar.
Right.
Bristol, I live centrally in Bristol. You can kind of walk everywhere. Everyone's friendly. And Dublin's like that.
It is, yeah.
You can walk around, and it's just great.
We're friendly now, but we weren't like a year ago because we're broke now.
What?
So now we're all friendly again. But we were horrible for about 10 years during the Celtic Tiger.
You've got a lot of very beautiful new structures, though. I've noticed this weekend.
Unfinished new structures.
But
Yeah,
they're going to be good, though.
they are going to be
When
good.
they get built eventually.
They're going to be great. That new airport terminal looks sensational.
I know. We're so proud of that. That's the thing. Forget like the fact that we created some of the most beautiful music in the world. That are we've got James Joyce.
Yes.
Forget any of that. We've got a new airport terminal that's going to rival Berlin.
Come on.
That's all that matters.
We started building that in 1931, and it's next to 42% finished.
Do you know what? I thought it looked a bit Art Deco.
Justin, you started off your career I'm not sure of your career, but in many ways, Dermot's a stand-up comedian. You started off in stand-up, but you didn't like it.
No, and it didn't like me. I was terrible. I was a rubbish comedian. I could just about get away with it over 5 minutes.
Right.
And my friend badgered me into doing it. He said, "You've got to do it. You've got to do it." And I said, in the end, I said, "Look, I'll do it. I know I'm going to die. I will die, and I'll never do it again. And I'll come off the stage and I'll say, 'There you go. I told you this is not for me.'" But for some strange fluke, it went all right.
Okay.
I had no material with the exception of one really old joke that my dad had told me. Because I can't write jokes. So I did a lot of jumping around, and I was inspired by Vic and Bob.
Right.
It was all surreal nonsense, no material. And my dad said, "Well, you got to at least tell one joke." So I think he gave me some old kind of Bernard Manning gag. So I went up with that, and it went all right. And I did it in the end for 6 years. But I hated it. All I got out of it was a sleepless night. I died time after time after time.
Dermot, our resident stand-up comedian, is definitely a fan of the fear. You get that quite a bit.
I do, and I suffer the thing that many comedians suffer is the pre-gig poo. That you have to go to the toilet just before you go on. Because
Yeah.
your stomach says, "I won't be having this now, sure I won't." You have to go to the toilet. But do you know what I have to say? We're twins.
I know.
We both hate stand-up. We've got shaggy hair, beards, and tartan shirts.
Oh!
You hate it too?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I find myself doing it though. It's like a drug, really. And it's when they're about to bring you on. You go, "Why am I doing this again?"
Well, I have to say, those rare occasions where it did go well,
Yeah.
there's no feeling like it.
Right.
There's no feeling like it. What happened in the end is that about 4 years in, I started comparing. Just almost exclusively comparing. And then it worked. I mean, I always beat myself up about being rubbish because talking about it makes me feel like a charlatan. You know, do you know what I mean? I feel like a charlatan and a fraud, and to an extent I was. But when I started comparing, it started to work because it's such a different role, and the expectation from the crowd is, and you'll know this, is so different.
Right, okay.
Because if I have to walk out as an act, there's an expectation from the crowd. It's like, come on, make me laugh. We're expecting you to be funny, and I can't perform under that pressure. So, but if I come out as the compare, what they know that my main role is to introduce other people who are going to be funny. So with that pressure off, there's a certain amount of pressure lifted. I felt like I could soar. I didn't soar. I didn't soar.
Did you?
But I
belly
did.
flop a couple
of times I belly flopped.
Where you have really soared though is radio and TV, and I was just watching the other evening doing your bowling. I mean, you became an expert in diving.
Oh well.
Like, well, you did. Well, you hurt your ear and stuff
I
like that.
perforated my ear, and I should have known better because a few years ago on Channel 4 I used to work on a show called The Games. You remember the celebrity?
Yeah.
Now, the last series of The Games, I actually sat at Ponds Forge in Sheffield, where I learned how to dive this year, and I watched Adam Ricketts. Do you remember he played Nicky Platt in Coronation Street, and then I think he became like a Conservative MP, or he tried to become an MP. Yeah. So I watched Adam Ricketts, right, Nicky Platt, attempt to dive from the 10-metre platform. He landed face first. I'm not kidding you. His eyes exploded.
Oh my god!
Blood vessel.
He burst the capillaries.
Oh my god!
His eyes exploded. I saw that back in 2006. So what I was doing
Why did you do that?
Because I'm an idiot.
Actually, funnily enough, that happens to a lot of people who look at Gail Platt. A lot of people's eyes have exploded on contact.
Yes.
You'd think he'd be used to it, in fairness.